Before 2007 and before 2010, diesel engines were legends. A Cummins 5.9-liter engine, or an early Duramax, could easily reach 500,000 to 1 million miles with just basic oil changes and filters. Today's emissions-compliant models need major repairs by 150,000 to 200,000 miles, or they limp into failure mode on the side of the road. There is an emissions secret destroying 80% of new heavy-duty and pickup diesels. The EPA Tier 4 and 2010 plus mandates forced DPF, EGR, and DEF SCR systems into every engine, turning simple, bulletproof power plants into complex failure machines. Diesel particulate filters, cracked exhaust gas recirculation coolers, and diesel exhaust fluid crystallization are the fatal flaws. In this report, we are going to expose exactly how these systems were engineered to break and reveal 3 proven ways to buy a diesel engine that actually lasts 400,000 miles or more. The urgency is real. Repair forums, YouTube diesel technicians, and class action lawsuits show that emissions components now cause 70 to 80% of all modern diesel breakdowns. Consumer reports and owner surveys confirm a sharp reliability collapse after 2010. Do not let the Environmental Protection Agency and the manufacturers scam you. Knowledge is your defense. To understand why modern diesel durability has collapsed, look at the industry's brutal consolidation. A handful of giants dominate more than 80% of the United States heavy-duty and pickup diesel market. Cummins powers nearly every Ram HD truck. General Motors Duramax and Ford Powerstroke control the rest of the pickup segment, while Detroit Diesel handles most Class 8 rigs. Caterpillar long ago exited the on-highway game. These publicly traded behemoths are not building legendary workhorses anymore. They are engineering products that meet quarterly earnings and EPA certification targets. Longevity for your truck? That is no longer the priority. Regulations are the real villain. The EPA 2007 to 2010 standards, often called Tier 4 in the industry, and the ongoing Phase 3 greenhouse gas rules forced every new diesel to add DPF particulate filters, EGR coolers, and DEF and SCR systems to slash nitrogen oxides and soot. These after-treatment devices added thousands of dollars in cost and mountains of complexity. Manufacturers rushed designs to hit certification deadlines, sometimes cutting corners or installing defeat devices. Just look at Cummins' record settlement of $1,675 million for nearly 1 million engines that used illegal software to bypass emissions controls during real-world driving. Ongoing class action allegations against GM Duramax engines make the same claims. The pressure to certify was so intense that durability became an afterthought. Factory incentives and slick marketing seal the trap. Piece rate assembly lines reward speed over quality, just like in the RV and appliance worlds. Certification deadlines mean rushed torque checks and misaligned components. Buyers see glossy, clean diesel ads promising power, efficiency, and environmental virtue. What you actually get are fragile add-ons that turn the legendary simplicity of older engines into expensive, failure-prone nightmares. You are not buying better technology, you are buying a government-mandated time bomb disguised as progress. But poor incentives and regulations are only the start. The real disasters happen in the details, where emission systems are literally engineered to fail. Let's break it down. The materials and add-on systems in modern diesels have been completely downgraded to meet EPA targets, turning bulletproof power plants into fragile money pits. Old mechanical diesels used simple forged steel blocks, robust injectors, and no aftertreatment, just reliable components that shrugged off abuse for hundreds of thousands of miles. Today's engines bolt on ceramic diesel particulate filters, DPFS, that clog on short trips and city driving because they never get hot enough for passive regeneration. EGR coolers crack from thermal stress and leak coolant straight into the exhaust, causing hydrolock or overheating. DEF tanks come with heaters and dosing systems that crystallize in cold weather or fail outright, while thin nitrogen oxide sensors corrode from road salt and moisture. Even the fuel itself was compromised. Ultra-low sulfur diesel stripped away natural lubricity, creating the same kind of trade-off we saw with refrigerants in appliances. These green changes boost compliance numbers on paper, but guarantee leaks, clogs, and catastrophic failures in real-world use. Physics does not care about EPA checkboxes. These materials ensure your engine starts dying long before the odometer hits 200,000 miles. Assembly makes everything worse thanks to the compliance rush. Factories scramble to meet EPA deadlines with piece rate pay, so workers are incentivized to slap parts together fast and move on. Misaligned EGR valves, poorly sealed. DPF canisters and skipped torque specs on injectors and sensors are routine. No time for proper quality checks means defects roll out the door daily. Diesel mechanics on forums like Cummins Forum, Duramax Forum, and YouTube channels like Powerstroke Techs share the same horror stories. Crushed EGR lines spraying coolant, faulty injectors causing misfires, and DPF units that fail straight out of the crate. These are not rare glitches, they are systemic. Industry data shows emissions-related issues dominate first-year service calls, with many owners reporting problems within the first 9 to 15% of ownership. When a line worker rushes to hit quota, your $80,000 truck becomes a roadside lemon waiting to happen. This is not oversight, it is the business model. Then come the tech and feature traps that sound impressive, but guarantee breakdowns. DEF-SCR systems trigger limp mode. The second fluid runs low, or a sensor glitches, stranding you on the highway. DPF regeneration cycles inject extra fuel into the oil, diluting it and slashing fuel economy while accelerating wear. EGR recirculates soot back into the intake, turning your clean engine into a carbon-coated mess over time. Manufacturers knew the trade-offs all along. Class actions exposed Cummins installing defeat devices on nearly 1 million engines, so they could pass tests but run cleaner in the lab than on the road. GM faces similar allegations with Duramax engines using temperature-triggered cheating to meet emissions on paper while destroying longevity in real use. The hyped clean diesel technology burns out faster than the old simple on-off systems ever did. These are not upgrades. They are planned failure points designed to sell you the next truck. These breakdowns don't just frustrate, they destroy your finances, the environment, and your peace of mind. Let's face the consequences. Financially, it's a brutal trap. DPF and EGR replacements run $2,000 to $4,000. Full DEF and SCR overhauls easily hit $5,000 to $8,000 every 100,000 miles. Old pre-emissions engines needed almost nothing beyond oil changes. Now you are looking at thousands in repairs, plus days or weeks of downtime if you run a work truck. Warranties are worthless. They cover parts but not labor, and manufacturers routinely deny claims for misuse, like using the wrong DEF or skipping a regen. You are stuck paying while your rig sits. Environmentally, the irony is brutal. These clean emission systems force more frequent engine replacements, which means more manufacturing emissions, more mining of rare metals for sensors and catalysts, and more hazardous waste from failed diesel particulate filters and contaminated DEF fluid heading to landfills. The EPA's own rules create far more total pollution over the life of the truck than the old, simple engines ever did. The regret cycle hits hardest. Owner surveys show that 40 to 70% of owners report frustration within 2 years. Real stories flood the forums. Trucks are stranded in limp mode on the interstate. Head gaskets are blown after botched exhaust gas recirculation deletes, and resale values are crashing by $10,000 to $15,000 because buyers know the repair bills are coming. You're not buying a workhorse anymore. You're investing in planned obsolescence. So if 80% of new diesel engines are garbage, does that mean you are doomed to endless repairs and limp mode nightmares? No. It means you need to shop smarter and bypass the EPA-mandated traps. Here are 3 proven strategies to get an engine that lasts 400,000 plus miles. First, hunt for pre-emissions era models built before 2007 or 2010. Cummins 5.9-liter engines, early Duramax and Powerstroke engines were mechanical workhorses that routinely hit 400,000 to 1 million miles with basic maintenance. These gems are everywhere on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and diesel-specific sites for a fraction of new truck prices. Check service records and compression, and you will own a legend that outlives modern junk. Second, stick to basic or older non-road builds that skip full Tier 4 compliance. Avoid any engine loaded with DPF, EGR, and DEF systems. Seek analog mechanical versions or independent brands with proven, simpler designs. Many commercial and agricultural diesels were never strangled by United States emissions rules, and they still deliver bulletproof reliability. Third, always demand a pre-purchase inspection from a diesel specialist. Test the EGR cooler, DPF pressure, and DEF system for $150 to $250. Once you own it, stick to strict maintenance. Use high-quality DEF, force regions on long highway runs, and keep sensors clean. For the ultimate loophole, use the United States 25-year import rule to bring in low-mileage Japanese or European commercial diesels built for millions of kilometers without all the fragile emissions gear. Armed with these options, you can escape the failure cycle and get back to work. The era of legendary diesel power is fading fast, replaced by EPA-mandated complexity that turns workhorses into expensive headaches. But you do not have to fall for it. Do not let EPA mandates and corporate shortcuts steal your truck's legendary life. Think like an auditor. Check the build date, make sure it is before 2007 or 2010, avoid emissions-heavy gimmicks, and prioritize proven mechanical simplicity over clean labels. By choosing pre-emissions classics, simpler builds, or smart imports, you are investing in reliability that lasts 400,000 miles or more. The big manufacturers bank on you not noticing until it's too late. Subscribe for more engineering exposes. If this helped, hit like. Next up, why your transmission is dying faster than ever.